Welcome. Welcome, everyone. It's Angelo Robles. I'm here to do part two, the complete AI Family Office Transformation Series. I'm doing this live. Many of you heard my part one, my segment one, earlier this morning into early afternoon, live here on a Sunday. I promised I would get my tea, take a little bit of a break. I have my tea with me. I am ready to rock it for segment two. Probably it's going to be about 40 to 50 minutes. It will be shorter than segment one. And then tonight, after at least the core NFL games, at least I admit it. So ballpark about 7:30, I'm going to rock back-to-back live segments three. You never heard anything like segment three. It could be incredible. And my wrap-up in the series, segment four. I'll probably leave all of these up across my @Family Office on YouTube and my other platforms, but I'm not sure. I will be doing more this week, diving a little deeper, but maybe in shorter spurts on these subjects, partially leading into my AI Masterclass November 5th and November 6th in New York City. But I also want to share information that I feel no one else is in the community. And I never went this deep ever before that I've done on this four-part series that will probably be like a mini digital masterclass over 3 hours of total content. So I'm excited. But on that note, unfortunately, I'm not going to make the 1 p.m. kickoff for the New York Giants today, the NFL broadly. I'll be a little bit late. I have no impact on the game, so I'm sure they're going to do just fine missing me for parts of the first quarter. What am I saying? I'm not going to be 4 hours or I'm going to eat into the fourth quarter. But on that note, without further ado, shall we begin? So this is my segment two, what your competitors built while you were debating, a four-part expose. This is part two, the complete AI Family Office Transformation Series. This segment is dedicated, and it will have little twists and turns, so stay with me. It's very important, like I ended segment one, the IP catastrophe and sovereign AI. How you're giving away, you are just giving away your competitive advantage, often without even knowing it. So there is an elephant in the room that it seems like no one either knows or wants to talk about. The catastrophic mistake happening right now, easily at 90%, probably 95% plus, single family office, multi-family offices, and really all enterprises and companies that are experimenting with AI. And that is, you are bleeding. You are bleeding your intellectual property. You're surrendering. You might as well just admit it. You're surrendering your competitive advantages. The sad part is you don't even know it's happening. So let me be very specific about what's going on right now. Today, at family offices, enterprises, RIAs, MFOs, most professional service firms, just like yours, or as an individual going on AI with your proprietary thoughts, you're using ChatGPT 5. I like it too. Claude 4.5, awesome. Gemini through public interfaces, Grok, etc. You're uploading your confidential investment memos, some of you feeding it proprietary tax optimization strategies, sharing family financial structures. You're asking questions about succession planning, feeding it data, pasting board meeting notes, uploading cap tables, querying about other exposures, including geopolitical, and think that it's not training the system, think that you're not bleeding it, think that it's not giving better decisions for others that didn't put in the work that you do and want to keep your stuff proprietary. And every single one of those queries is leaving your organization, especially as a single family office, but really any organization that has to bother you. It's touching servers you don't control, being used to train models that you don't own. It's creating a permanent record of your investment thesis, your strategies, your alpha, your family dynamics, and your competitive advantages. Period. So let me paint a picture for you of what you're actually doing when you use cloud like AWS that went down for some of you for 24 hours this past week. When you use cloud AI services without thinking of the implications, it kind of is an invisible hemorrhage. Let's start with your investment strategy. Your team, your talented team, might have spent years, 5 years, developing a proprietary framework, evaluating emerging market infrastructure deals. You've identified patterns others miss. You know which regulatory signals predict profitable exits. You understand the local dynamics that make or break projects. This framework is why your emerging market returns are hundreds of basis points above an index. It's well earned. Last month, your analysts uploaded the framework to ChatGPT to help refine the language and make it more systemic. Theoretically, a good idea, but not on a platform like that. It sounds harmless, right? Congratulations, your 5-year competitive advantage just entered a training data set with 100 million other queries. Maybe it's not being used today, maybe not even tomorrow, but the data is out there. The strategy is now part of a larger intelligence that your competitors, peers, they might come across. Your edge could possibly be not exclusively yours anymore. Tax structures. You have a billion multi-jurisdictional structure. Your tax team, 3 years, 800,000 in advisory fees to perfect. And it's all awesome. It's legal, extraordinarily efficient, and gives you maybe a 17% edge arbitrage over typical family offices. But your CFO wanted to, with good intentions, and rightfully so to a degree, just not in these kind of models, wanted to upload the structure to, let's pick on Claude now, asking how might this be affected by proposed changes to Luxembourg holding company regulations. I do love me international stuff. So you non-US people, you hear me talking NFL and football, don't worry. I love to travel the world. I got you all covered as well. You just documented your entire tax strategy in a cloud system that if that data is ever compromised, oh, that never happens, you're kidding me, subpoenaed, ooh, now we're getting a little deeper, or accessed, your structure is no longer proprietary. Worse, if regulators use AI to pattern match aggressive tax strategies, you painted a big target on your back. Your family dynamics. Your family office has 41 beneficial owners across 4 generations, complex dynamics. You figured out a governance structure, shockingly, that actually works. Took years of trial and error and family therapy to get there. The family office president, and again, happens to SFOs and MFOs, uploads, meeting notes to AI, asking to help mediate a dispute between Gen 2 and Gen 3, about ESG investing. Why don't I be stereotypical? You just uploaded your family's fault lines to the cloud. The specific language patterns that the conflict triggers, the decision-making dynamics, information that in the wrong hands could be used to manipulate family governance or exploit family conflicts. Oh, make no bones about it. This is absolutely happening right now at sophisticated family offices that should know better. I mentioned the cloud dependency trap, but the IP leakage is really only part of the problem. Listen to me. The other part, dependency. Let me walk you through a real scenario and giving exact numbers because these things actually do happen. Family office, 4.2 billion AUM, sophisticated, saw the AI wave coming early, smart people. They built an AI-powered investment analysis system believe, first quarter in 2023. Kind of extraordinary. Could process pitch decks, extract key insights in seconds, analyze 10Ks, spot concerning patterns that most human analysts would miss, generate investment memos that were 90% complete, requiring really only a human review and light touch-up, if that. Cross-reference every deal against their 15-year database of past investments. It's important. And flag potential conflicts of interest or LP concerns automatically. But they built their entire system, this proprietary, cool, powerful system in OpenAI's API. Every single analysis ran through at that time, earlier GPTs 4, now 5, processing over 3,000 deals through the system, analyzing over like 18 months, their prompts, that's important to know, their frameworks, their evaluation criteria, their institutional knowledge, all of it funneled through OpenAI's infrastructure. The system was generating alpha. Their analysts were probably about 40% more productive. They were seeing deals that others were missing. And everyone was thrilled. Now, again, it's more than just leakage. August of 2024, OpenAI announced new API pricing, effective immediately, boom, a 40% increase. Overnight, their AI budget jumped significantly. Annoying, sure, but perhaps manageable. Well, wrong. Let me explain. Wrong, because here's what they discovered. You're locked in. Their entire workflow depended on OpenAI specific models, their specific response formats, their specific capabilities. They had built 18 months of custom tooling. It took time, prompt engineering, and process optimization around, let's go with the verbiage, one vendor. They had zero negotiating leverage, zero alternatives that were ready, and zero portability. They were completely and utterly dependent. It gets worse. Months later, OpenAI changed their rate limits. Suddenly, the family office's high volume deal analysis was triggering like throttling. The same day turnaround on investment memos became 2 or 3 day turnaround, and their competitive advantages were effectively degrading in real time. Reached out around December of 2024. Could I help reduce cost and restore some level of performance? The answer to me was pretty straightforward. Migrate to sovereign. You own, you control AI. Build their own infrastructure, use open source models for the most part that you totally control because it doesn't touch the cloud. But the problem, they had to rebuild everything, every prompt, priorly optimized for, again, earlier ChatGPTs. Specific behavior had to be re-engineered for different models. Every integration had to be rewritten. Every workflow had to be retested. And months of developmental work, although it did produce real value, was kind of essentially thrown away. What's the cost of that migration? Now, that was a substantial family office. A lot of employees, complexity, some level of bureaucracy, some things they were doing great. But to really go in there and completely revamp, not just buying a $10,000 Apple laptop, which works awesome for me. Now you're talking about deep integration of AI integration engineers really working on this, well over $1 million in consulting and developmental fees, months and months of degraded performance during a transition, opportunity cost. That's a big one, of deals that couldn't be analyzed for months to the full capacity. Teams frustrated and burnout from learning new systems, which admittingly is never fun. So the real cost, part of it due to opportunity costs, probably millions, north of $5 million. The cost of having built sovereign AI from day one would have been a fraction of that. For a very big family office with complexities like that, maybe $500,000. So they kind of paid $4 million stupid tax for not understanding what really amounted to vendor dependency. So I want to go back to kind of the sovereign solution. This is why the smartest family offices, they don't need to be the biggest, the smartest, and I mean absolute top tier, are building what I call sovereign AI. AI systems on their hardware, which can begin as low as about 10,000. We're not talking crazy money, but it depends. AI systems that never touch the cloud. AI that runs on infrastructure that you control, so you own it. AI where your data, your strategies, your intellectual property never leaves your four walls. Now, when I say this, most people immediately think that sounds like it's expensive, at least complicated, probably not as good as cloud services. Wrong on all three accounts. Let me break down what sovereign AI actually looks like. So, like the models itself, you download open source AI models. If I could do it, you could do it. I learned in an hour. It wasn't even that long. Not watered down versions, not even inferior alternatives, but actual state of the art models. Variations of the right llama from Meta with 70 billion parameters rivals, GPT at least a couple of months ago on 4 and practically most benchmarks. Mistral Large, excellent for European data and multilingual analysis. DeepSeek, now I know some of you may question that, but on an open source platform that you control, is wonderful on mathematical and financial analysis. Claude Opus, Anthropic's more enterprise offering for complex reasoning. And these aren't theoretical. These are production-ready models that families are running now, and many others, depending on their unique specialty, that can be trained on their more specific data. That doesn't mean that you're not using some more public-facing cloud platforms. For certain things you are, but not your most proprietary data. Now, the infrastructure, you're running these models on your own hardware. Now, again, in theory, for small-ish family offices, that might literally be a couple of $7,000 to $8,000, $9,000 Apple laptops. Like, that's it. For others, it may be more tens of thousands into larger families, into maybe 100, 200,000 or a bit more. But you're running everything in your own data center. Now, that does potentially get to be more money. Total control, zero cloud dependency. Your data never leaves your building. Now, the option 2 that I noted, some level potentially of private cloud use, AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, but in a completely isolated environment where you control the encryption keys and the data never mingles with other customers. It's like having your own private section of the cloud with walls that, in theory, no one else can see through. Option 3, may be applicable for most, is kind of hybrid. Sensitive data and core strategies absolutely run on premises. Less sensitive analysis and high compute tasks, better to be run in like the private cloud. You get cost efficiency where it matters and absolute security when or where it is most critical. The operations. Every query you make, every document you analyze, Every strategy you develop, it all stays within your infrastructure. Your investment memos never touch platforms like OpenAI servers. Your tax strategies never flow through Google's data centers. Your family governance documents never exist on Anthropic's cloud. Your geopolitical analysis never crosses someone else's network. The smartest families aren't just implementing AI. Listen to me. They're implementing AI in a way that maintains absolute control over their intellectual property. I said it 20 years ago. I'll say it again. The advantages, especially for a single family office: privacy, control, and customization. But it takes thought, some resources, and an action putting things together, working properly in coordination. The performance revelation. Now, here's what I think no one is telling you, and I think this is critical. The performance gap between cloud AI and sovereign AIs is disappearing, and fast. Yeah, in 2023, you wanted to use the best AI, you had to use cloud services. Then, whatever, ChatGPT 4 was clearly superior to anything that you could run yourself. That was true. That created tension between performance and security. But today, open source models, I could argue, are 85 to 95% as capable, especially depending on how you structure it, the size of your internal hardware to take on certain platforms, and how to train it on your proprietary data, at least for targeted tasks that are going to be applicable to you. And here's the kicker: for specialized use cases, once you fine tune them, and that's going to be important, on your proprietary data, I think they're actually better than the more, let's go with the word, public facing platforms that many of you are used to. So, like, imagine a real example: a family office focused on healthcare and biotech investing, trying ChatGPT to analyze FDA approval patterns and clinical trial data. It was okay, like maybe per memory about 70% accurate, generated some useful insights, but made enough mistakes that the analysts still effectively had to verify everything. They switched. They switched to a sovereign setup, took an open source model, fine tuned it on 15 years of their own investment notes, FDA decisions, clinical trial outcomes, and their proprietary scoring framework, which we could get into another subject, relatively easy to quantify, to structure, to even code and create your own internal kind of fintech solutions, sometimes for practically pennies on the dollar, but a subject of the masterclass. The result in my example, closer, I believe, to about 94% accuracy, better than any cloud model, because their model learned their specific patterns, their specific criteria, their specific domain expertise. Again, in coordination with talented humans, does more, better, and faster, and there's no question about that. Now, here's the real advantage. Going back to where I started here, they maintain 100% control, zero IP leakage, complete sovereignty over their competitive advantage. And the cost of that all-in sovereign AI system, even with the right integration engineers, hardware, and softwares, like maybe 100, 110,000 a year, versus way more than that paying for an equivalent cloud API usage at scale. They're getting better performance at maybe 30 to 40% of the cost, with zero vendor dependency and complete IP protection. That's not a trade-off. That's superior on every dimension. So there's kind of three layers of protection. The families doing this right are building 3 layers of IP protection into their AI systems. Think of it kind of like a medieval castle with multiple walls of defense. We'll continue in a second. Layer one, sovereign infrastructure. All AI models run on infrastructure you control. The principle is simple. Your data never mingles with anyone else's data. Hear that again. You need to have your data never mingling with anyone else's data, period. This means your servers on your private cloud environment, your encryption keys that only you hold, your network that's air gapped from public internet for sensitive operations, your backups that never touch third-party storage. If you can't physically point to where your data lives and who has access, you do not have sovereign infrastructure. Now, layer two, model isolation. You don't use general purpose models trained on the entire internet for sensitive work. You don't need to. Instead, you create specialized, fine-tuned models, fine-tuned for your specific use cases. Your real estate analysis AI trained on your proprietary deals, your property deals in general, your evaluation criteria, and your market insights. You're amplifying your capabilities and you're doing things simply better and faster without biases. Your public markets AI trained on your investment philosophy, your sector expertise, your historical patterns. Your tax optimization AI trained on your structures, your jurisdictions, and your specific situations. And especially for your family governance AI trained on your family dynamics, your situations, your decision frameworks, and your communication patterns. Each model is purpose-built. It doesn't have to be that hard or complicated. Each contains domain knowledge that exists nowhere else. Each is a competitive moat that cannot be replicated because the training data is yours and yours alone. Think of the huge advantage for your single or multi-family office. Layer three, what I call query compartmentalization, keeping it contained. Your queries, the right questions you're asking. Even within your own systems, you segment data. This is defense effectively in debt. Your real estate AI doesn't have access, are you listening, to your private equity strategies. Your tax optimization system doesn't see your complete deal flow. Your family governance AI doesn't know your investment positions. Your geopolitical risk system doesn't access your tax structures. Why? Why? I think you know why. Because if any single system is ever compromised, whether through cyber attack, insider threat, or technical failure, the breach is contained. You got to think about these things. One, getting AI compromised doesn't expose everything in the example I gave if you're doing it right. The families building these multiple layers aren't just protecting IP. They are truly SFOs, MFOs, again, multiple enterprises, providers. They are building real moats. Should talk about that. Should explain the benefits and value to the end consumer, the family, investors, LPs, whatever you call it. Creating true competitive advantages that literally cannot be replicated because the core intelligence, the frameworks, the strategies, the institutional knowledge, that's really the word I'm looking for, exist only within their organization, protected by multiple layers of security. This is what you have to think through. You can't steal what you can't access. You can't replicate what can't be seen. You can't compete with what you don't know exists. Now, there's another advantage. We're going to call it the acceleration advantage. And I know it's 1 minute before 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to miss a little bit of football. It's okay. Again, I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave these up, although this will be a big week where I'm going to be talking. Although I don't know if it's going to be as comprehensive, it's not, as this 4-part series that I'm doing live today. So the acceleration advantage. Here's what makes this even more powerful over time. When you have sovereign AI, every query you make, every analysis you run, every strategy you develop, it feeds back to your capital letters there, your models. Your AI gets smarter every day based on your data, your decisions, your outcomes. Cloud AI gets smarter based on everyone's data. Your AI gets smarter based on your, assuming you have one, you better, unique edge. Over time, this creates a divergence. Your AI becomes increasingly customized to your specific strategies, your specific markets, your specific opportunities. It becomes an extension of your institutional knowledge that cannot be purchased, copied, or reverse engineered. Meanwhile, families using cloud AI are all being served by the same models, getting the same insights, seeing the same patterns. They're all reading from the same playbook. How is that going to work? Where's your alpha? Where's your edge? You should be, as I describe it, with sovereign AI, writing your own playbook, and nobody can read it. There's a wake-up call. And I'm going to ask you directly. Right now, today, are you using AI in your family office? But are you uploading to these platforms that are, again, training the systems, the Groks, the ChatGPTs, pasting sensitive information into Claude, using Gemini to analyze confidential strategies? If the answer is yes, and honestly, for 90%, 97% of you, it is, at least by watching this, I'm making you aware of it. You need to understand what you're actually doing. You are trading a short-term convenience for a long-term competitive disadvantage. You're renting AI when, again, the analogy I like to talk about, you should be owning it. You're building on someone else's foundation when you should be building your own fortress. And the families who understand this, the ones building sovereign AI right now, they're not just protecting their advantages, they're compounding them. Every day their AI gets better trained on proprietary data, while yours, in my example, stays generic. Every day their moats get wider, and yours stays non-existent. This is exponential divergence. I'm talking about it. It starts small, sure, but it compounds as the months, the years, 3-5 years go on, and the gap becomes insurmountable. Now, there's what I call my masterclass bridge. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds complicated. This sounds expensive. This sounds like something I need a team of engineers to implement. And if you tried to figure this out yourself, well, like, you might be right. It would be complicated. It would be expensive. And likely there's going to be some costly mistakes that are going to be made. But here's why I'm noting my AI Family Office Masterclass, really an AI Masterclass. SFOs, individuals, entrepreneurs, MFOs, RIAs, advisors, GPs, funds, private equity, it doesn't matter. I'll make an immediate impact on you this November 5th and 6th, immersive in person in New York City. I'll give you exact implementation playbooks, not theory, not concepts, specific architectures, models, structure, choices. I've lived through it. I also have an incredible faculty, real family members, real AI integration engineers, real centimillionaires coming in talking about what they're doing, how they're doing it. You'll learn sovereign AI, the hardware, which models, how to prompt engineer, how to structure around security, vibe coding, creating apps, integrating with fintech, and you'll be incredibly good at AI agents. This is going to be so incredible. You're really fine-tuning the process to customize models, finally on your own proprietary data. implementing, as I said, the 3 layers of IP protection, specific vendors and tools that make this practical. I'm not saying you could perfectly do it yourself after 2 days, although I kind of did. I'm condensing what I learned, what I purchased, and what's working for me. And some of you will need a little bit more hand holding and a little bit more AI integration engineering help, and that's okay. The timeline from decision to employment for some of you could be days after this, realistically, and I'll talk about it in segment 4, depending on the size and scale, weeks to months, but reasonable. And here's the most valuable part. I'm going to show you the case study of families who did this like even a year to a year and a half ago. What they're doing with their sovereign AI now, the advantages they built, the alpha they're generating, and the risk that they're avoiding. Because it's not theoretical, it's operational, and it's right now. Families with whatever, 100 million, 2 billion, 50 billion, MFOs at 100 billion are running, some of them, not as much as there should be, but running sophisticated sovereign AI systems, analyzing the thousands of deals that I referenced earlier, optimizing taxes in real time, monitoring geopolitical risk 24/7, and they're doing it with complete IP protection. They are not bleeding their intellectual property, and zero vendor dependency. They're not just talking about it. I mean, kind of like, why would they? Competitive advantages are valuable precisely, and the best thing I'm saying here, precisely because others don't have them. I'm sharing it. They probably don't like that too much. But I'm an entrepreneur. I got a lot to share, and I think this is going to be valuable. And I know, listen to my segment 1 from earlier, at most 10% of you are going to have any interest to move forward, because that's just how the math works. But again, the AI Masterclass, immersive in New York, this November 5th and 6th, I'm going to pull back the curtain kind of completely, show you everything, kind of give you a playbook so you can implement sovereign AI in your family office, at least have the understanding, start the ball rolling, and then move forward, perhaps with guidance from me and others. But here's the truth. The window is closing. There is a compounding advantage. There absolutely is. In the world of AI, where models learn and improve daily, 12 months might as well be a decade. Only 10 spots, no big room. This is a boardroom. I have a couple of spots remaining. I have some incredible families that are already committed. Incredible. I'm so fortunate. And I did this twice in the summer as well. It's even better now. And 1 or 2 are repeat attendees. If you pay and attend, I'll let you attend another one complimentary. Again, this November 5th and 6th in New York. If you're serious about protecting your competitive advantage, and you better have one, while amplifying your capabilities, you kind of need to be there. So the transition later on today, after most of the NFL, so about 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do an incredible segment 3. But protecting your IP and building sovereign AI, that's kind of still half the equation. Because while you're building AI native operations, there's an other revolution happening at the same time. One that people think is completely separate from AI, but it absolutely isn't. And no one in the family office world is talking about it, building for it, implementing it, and going through it. And you're going to learn about this as well at the masterclass. So I'm talking about the complete restructuring of how value moves through the global economy. There's new financial rails being built right now, kind of the tokenization of everything, the advent of stable coins and what's going on, effectively programmable money systems and on-chain development, 24/7, 365 settlement infrastructure. When you combine sovereign AI with AI agents, with the new financial architecture, with a stamp of approval from the US government, and we'll talk about that. And when you have AI agents that can transact 24/7 automatically, effectively using stable coins on blockchain rails, And this is all happening right now. You have tokenized assets that could trade effectively 24/7 with instant settlement. When you have programmable money that moves at the speed of information, that's when things get really, really interesting. That's when families who understand both of the revolutions, the AI revolution and the financial infrastructure revolution, both are happening right now at the same time. This will make the latter part of the 2020s like this will make easily the early part of when AI with ChatGPT, not even 3 years ago, amazing, what in 2022, gonna look like the roaring 20s. Let me explain. Because right now, while everyone's focused on Bitcoin going up or down, something infinitely more important is really happening. The United States passed two pieces of legislation that will fundamentally transform global finance. And 99% of people, smart people, investors, successful people, have no idea what just happened or why it matters. But the 1% who understand, they're already positioning for among the biggest wealth opportunities, wealth transfer opportunities in the next decade. And you will absolutely see and hear me talk about that this evening. So approximately 7:30, I'm going to do about a 45-minute segment 3, like today between 1 and 2, meaning segments 1 and 2. I'm going to take a little break, and then post 8:30, 8:45, I'll wrap it up with segment 4. All 4 live today. I feel like a young streamer, those young bucks that do the 12, 24, 36 hours with no break. Apparently, I need my breaks for cigars, football, tea. Well, maybe not food. Maybe I'll make today a fasting day. We'll see. So, man, it's an exciting time. And I get it. I mean, I'm 60, everyone. I'm 60. You think I'm native to this? I'm not. I put in hundreds of hours. I flew to Silicon Valley multiple times, around the world, meeting incredible people, spending money on hardware, spending hours and hours and hours of wasting my time doing things that didn't work out in the world of AI and technology that I wanted it to fine tune what I'm doing, to learn from some AI integration masters, to see what family offices that are implementing and what's working. Again, it's a very small percentage. And then sharing this with you. This segment 1 through 4, there's nothing like this available freely. I'm giving you incredible knowledge, incredible. And imagine taking it and accelerating it through my AI masterclass on November 5th and 6th. What that's going to do for you, the edge that you'll get heading into the end of this year, and how you'll come roaring out of it in the first quarter. You'll be unmatched as an SFO, as an executive, as an MFO, a financial advisor, a GP, a venture capitalist. Sure, I get it. I'm charging $15,000 for the masterclass. It's not inconsequential. I understand. What value are you going to get, and the actions that you're going to take, the people that you're going to meet that are going to be worth potentially 50, 100, 1,000x that, and the speed. Remember, AI without question. Combining with what I'm talking about now, you'll be better, you'll do more, better, and faster, period. There is no question about it. You don't have to absorb 100% of it and move forward with 100%. No one does. If you enact relatively quickly, absorb, take notes, learn, move forward 10 or 20% of it, you'll be incredible. Incredible. I want to assure as an executive that you're going to have a job in an SFO and an MFO. I want to assure as a family that you're going to progress and dominate in the years to come. I want your rising generation. Why aren't they coming to this? They'll get, because they're going to be more native in AI. At the one I did on August 11th and 12th, an executive in the family office, he may be watching this, he brought his son. It was a great idea. He asked me and I said, yes. Easy. Boom. So it doesn't just have to be you. It could be someone else in the enterprise, the family office, maybe the second person you want to be a child, a relative, a friend. This will, more so through my incredible instructors than me, this will change their life. If they're in their 20s, trust me, they should be concerned about what the near future is going to hold. Aren't you concerned about their future job opportunities, what AI is going to do to that? This level of knowledge and integration is going to, at least for a while, assure their opportunity, their gainful employment. And for you as an executive like me, well over 40, this could change everything for you, everything. So yes, you should go to angelorobles.com. You should simply sign up. It's right around the corner, November 5th and 6th. You should sign up to be a member of my SFO continuity for the full year, and all that provides as well. At least that's a good starting point. And then jump in maybe next year, but who knows when that masterclass will be. Some of you have asked, am I willing, family by family, maybe traveling to where you are to kind of host a customized masterclass for the family or your enterprise? It's on the table. Reach out to me. We could have that conversation and kind of see where it goes. So then you're not even sharing in room with other families. It's customized to your organization, your family office, your venture capital, your accounting firm, whatever. And I'll bring the talent and resources along with myself to you. It's on the table. Let's talk about it. Now, again, I am going to go watch some football. I am going to enjoy one of my beloved cigars. And then 7:30 or a little post that tonight, I'm going to come back. Segment 3 is going to rock your world. You never heard anything like this before. And then a little break in segment 4. Again, I may leave these up on my LinkedIn or at Family Office on YouTube for a while, but that's going to be my decision. I'm giving away effectively a mini virtual masterclass here of 3 hours collectively of content, all done live. So we'll see. I'll have some other content this week that will somewhat be more AI centric. Just so many amazing things happening right now. I just want to grab you all by the lapels and shake you up. The vast majority of you just will not take action. You broadly believe that I'm correct. You think my timeline's too quick, and you think this is 3 years, 5 years, 10, 20 years out. I am correct. It's happening right now. I'm living through it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the people that have come through my masterclass and the interactions with them and my faculty over the weeks to months to follow, and all the incredible things that they're doing. It's all happening right now. Now, as I ended my segment 1, I will repeat, started to have some website issues with my underlying host, Kajabi, and SSL server, getting a little into the weeds there, and Cloudflare. Some of you may try to go to angelorobles.com and might have a bit of an issue, especially if you're going behind a more strict company firewall. We are looking to get it resolved, mainly with Cisco and some others. Wow, it's been an adventure. We're 92 to 97% there, but some of you, it may still be a bit of a challenge. Your cell phone should be 100% correct. And again, we're only talking for probably like 3 to 7% of you. So it is getting better. You'll figure out a way to reach me. It should be easiest at angelorobles.com. But if you had to email me, I've been around for decades. Angelo@angelorobles.com. I'm available with DMing on lots of the main platforms, including, of course, LinkedIn. Just reach out to me. And I encourage my real number. I don't yet have a second phone. I've had this number for decades. I want you to text me. Maybe say hello. Let me know the Giants are going to win today. And simply say, hey, I want into the masterclass, to send me the direct link. I want to be a part of it. I want one of those final spots. I want to wrap up this year incredible and be roaring later this year, but definitely into the first quarter of next year. 203-570-2898. That is 203-570-2898. And again, email is angelo@angelorobles.com. It's simple. The website is obviously that. And again, for a small percentage of you, perhaps behind a more strict company firewall, we're looking to get some of those resolved. I think we're, again, butting up on maybe 97% there. So for the majority of you, it's all going to be fine. And I look forward to it. November 5th and 6th is going to be incredible. My faculty, myself, and incredible families and executives look forward to seeing you there. You know what to do. Enjoy today. Beautiful day. Some of you enjoy football. I know I do. Going to take this off. Going to have a great time. But I am coming back to rock it at segments 3 and 4 live tonight. And again, I may take those down from the videos up on YouTube and LinkedIn, maybe after a day or two. So you really want to be a live participant to be 100% sure, or simply just join the masterclass and you'll get obviously much more. And integration, meeting incredible people, faculty, etc. And like we're, we have a bond at that point. We're in deep connection. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing all of you plus more live tonight, post 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you.